Um, okay, so right now I've opened Fusion. I might have to swap to a window capture instead. Instead of window capture, just a capture. So let me just this is not capturing all of Fusion. There we go. Cool. So this is Fusion. I haven't used this pretty much at all. I have used Inventor from Autodesk, but that's expensive and it was a student license. Right. Anyways, so from what I've seen of Fusion, this down here is your history of what you do. So as you do stuff, your history will go along down here. And then over here you have a bunch of different group things. You have objects and stuff you're making. And the basic workflow of Fusion and similar CAD programs, this is why I'm fairly confident I can do a bit of live stream and talking about it because they are similar, is you first make a 2D sketch detailing some sort of form in a two-dimensional way, and then you extrude it in some way. And there's the most common way is just to extrude it straight up. There are, for example, if you want to make a cone, you make two different sketches at two different planes. One being a small circle and one being a larger circle, and then you can call what is called loft between those two, and it'll kind of make a cone. So the first thing you want to do is create a sketch, and then you select the plane to do it on. Normally I do it here in the, this is in what I use, is called top plane. So you start a sketch here. I don't really know the shortcuts for, yeah, it's called top here too. I don't really know. Okay, so middle mouse button to move around, not right click to, maybe you cannot do that in a sketch. Anyways, so then in the sketch, let's say, what should we make? Okay, don't hate me. I'm gonna make a fidget spinner just because it's a very simple thing to do. So let's make a circle in the middle for a bearing. Let's make the, I just hit D. I don't know if, yeah, D is dimension here too. So D for dimension, and then I'm gonna make a bearing hole of 22 millimeters. And then, so what I noticed was when I went in here, I noticed that circle is on C, that right there. So from now on, I'm just gonna use C. And then I'm gonna put this here, hit D for dimension, and then say, I want this wall thickness to be 3 millimeters. Okay, then I'm gonna hit C again, and make another circle up here, and let's make, actually let me see if I can figure out how to do a circular pattern, because then I'm gonna make one of these, and again, a wall thickness 3. And let's see, is there some sort of spline? Or yeah, there is a spline, but I rather want just an arc. Let's do a 3-point arc from here, here, and then put the center somewhere like that, and then let's apply a constraint. This is why it's called parametric or constraint driven CAD. So I just made this arc here. I'll make another one over here. But I want this to be tangential. So I'll pick the tangent constraint, click this arc, and click the circle. So now this is tangential where it intersects. I'll do the same for this one down here, and this one down here, and this one down here. And then I can kind of see, I want to make another constraint here. I want to say that this one has to be vertically aligned. So I'll take the horizontal vertical. Okay, I just over constrained something. Because I had something selected, I suppose. And then let's make the distance between these 40 millimeters, whatever. And then let's see if I can figure out how to do a rotational. What would those are called? So let's see. Yeah, it's probably under. Okay, because we're working in a sketch, it's probably under sketch here. Yeah, circular pattern. So in a circular pattern, I'll pick this, 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 this. These are the objects I want to pattern. Thanks, Code. I figured it out. And then I want to do the center point will be this. Oh, the stream delay is going to be a bit interesting to work with. Now you see, now we have 3 copies that, and you can change that if you want. So let's say 5 copies. That is one hell of a fidget spinner. Let's call it Patrick. So we've already been. The reason I like fidget spinners for showing this kind of stuff off, I completely agree that they're really annoying and stupid. The reason I like them for this kind of stuff is that they show off sketch and the 2D kind of stuff. They also show off dimensioning and they show off constraints. And circular patterning and stuff like that. A few things they don't show off is when you create stuff. They don't show off revolving. They don't show off sweeping, where you can basically take. So let's say this circle here, you could sweep it along a path, as Fusion very clearly and nicely shows. Actually, this is loft, was what I was talking about earlier. Revolve is usually when you want to make, like, you have a cross section of something that you want to revolve. Yeah, there's a lot of nice things. Anyways, I don't like this point here, so let's just make another arc. 3-point arc. I don't know why I just prefer 3-point arcs and then constraining them afterwards. I could just use tangent arc. Make that tangential to this and this. Nice. Okay, and then let's just do a circular pattern on that too. And we need 5 of those as well. And then I should be able to stop sketch and then extrude. These things. And I want to extrude those like 10 millimeters. Actually, 608 bearing is 7 millimeters if I correctly. Yep. And then let's. Oh, so you can see this here. I have some issues. So let's go into this extrude I just did down here. And there's some area it didn't pick. Yeah. Oh wow, Fusion really does this really well. This would have been a real chore to pick something almost invisible like this on shape. Though I don't know if it would have been almost invisible or not. I actually don't know why it didn't, why it's not part of the other parts. Oh, I actually do think. Oh. No control or something? Okay, there's gonna be a small hole there. Right, so let's see, how do you rotate? Is it just mouse? No. Space? No. Control? No. Shift? No. Code, how do you rotate? I'm used to just holding right click to rotate a part. So in Fusion, no, in Inventor it's F4, but that's annoying. It's the completely default Alt or Shift. Alt and Shift? Oh, Shift and middle mouse button in whatever control screen you might have selected. Okay, so you see, now I just made this horrible looking thing. That's the general workflow. Another thing you can then do if you want is, I guess that's under modify. Yeah, it is. So you want to fillet this on the top so that it's nice to touch. And you want a radius of 2. Also, if you go, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's right here. Tangent chain basically means, so if we just deselect everything, tangent chain means, so I pick this line. What tangent chain does is if I pick just this straight line here, it follows all lines around as long as they're tangential together. If I turn that off, you can see here that it'll only pick this line segment. And yeah, that's useful. Let's make that 2 millimeters. There's something wrong with what I've picked. Oh, turn that off again, and then let's try again. Worked fine earlier. Okay, so I can pick these. Can I not pick this? Try this out. Oh, all click the body. Yeah. As you can see, I don't use this too much. Actually, I think I know what clicking the body does. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh. Anyways, so this is just a quick introduction. So what you want to do is just get in here, think about it as a sort of 2D thing that you then extrude out, and that kind of stuff. If you do need some sort of rotational symmetry in a 3D part, you might want to start thinking about how to design it as a cross section and then revolve it around an axis. Yeah, I think I know what you mean with clicking the body call code. I usually don't do that in Onshape either. Basically what it does in Onshape, I'm assuming it does the same thing here. It's just it picks every outline on that face. So if I click this face up here for a fillet or a chamfer, it would pick the circle, the outline, and the inner circle here, all other circles. I usually don't want to do that because usually there's like 1 or 2 things I don't want to fillet or I don't want to chamfer. So usually I just pick the lines myself. But yeah, it's definitely an option. So then once you have that, what you can do is say modify, let's add a chamfer at the bottom. Oh, it's reversed scrolling than what I'm used to. This makes it, in my experience, better to print. Like it kind of gets rid of the problem that you sometimes have with the first layer squeezing out past. I don't know why I can't pick that line. Definitely some things you would have to get used to compared to like, oh, what? All code? What's going on? That must be just a rendering glitch, right? It actually is letting me. What in the world? Okay, that's not supposed to happen. This gap here is not supposed to be there. Let's try and export it. I guess that's 3D print high refinement, I guess. Print utility. No, I don't want to send it to a print. I want an STL. I guess that's just. I don't like this whole interface over here. It's supposed to be like cloud connected and stuff. Annoying. Board, I guess. Yeah, no. Body save as STL. Thanks, man. Cool. Binary. Sure, why not? Hi. Let's take a look at it just in Slicer, I guess. See if this is an artifact of the rendering or if it's actually an artifact they put in the model. Oh, what was I Googling? Oh, Papilio FPGAs. Where would it be? Be right back. Yeah, you can look at that in a minute. Why did I just save it? And transfers, downloads. Yeah, if you're wondering why I just said transfers, that's because that's actually the direct translation of the Danish downloads. Transfers. Weird, I've never thought about that. Body1.stl, right? Body1.stl. Okay, let's turn this back. Yeah, it's just a rendering artifact. Also, you'll see something here. I picked top. That's what I usually pick in Onshape. And in Onshape, the way the coordinate system is arranged is with z-axis up. What I can see from this is that in Fusion 360, y is up. So if you want to model it in your software so that it lays flat when you pull it into your slicer, make sure that the x-axis is what you consider up. The z-axis is what you consider up. There might be a setting you can change, or you might just put it on the front plane instead of the top plane. But you can also just completely ignore that and just rotate this around x 90 degrees. But yeah, so that's just yeah, denne PC is Danish for this PC, pretty much. Right, so that should give you kind of a feel for what the program is. It's definitely by no means a proper introduction. I don't really feel like I can go much more into it. And showing off CAD kind of, first of all, requires you to have some sort of project to showcase, because you can't just show off the features without kind of tying it to what you would use it for, not in my opinion at least. But it should give you a feel of how you're meant to think. This down here is your history line. You can actually scroll back, another feature. You can roll back to before you made something. And then you have your bodies, your different individual bodies over here, and your different sketches. So yeah. Yeah, I recommend starting something simple like cable clips just to get a feel of it. But I think that's about what I can go into. So yeah.